Morning, everybody. Matt Moda here with the Dong Report, here to give you my favorite MLB home run picks of the day. As for today, the way I am playing today's Dong slate is I have a 5-leg round robin for you guys to lock in, and then I have 2 straight bets as well. So going to have a total of 7 players on Dong Watch for a total of 1.5 units risked. Yesterday was nice. We were able to get 2 guys to hit a home run. Just was a great memory of what it feels like to pick players who hit home runs. The problem is none of the guys that I bet straight hit a home run. We're talking Shohei Ohtani and Will Smith. None of them hit home runs. I put a half unit on each of them individually. Because neither of them hit a home run, we still ended the day in the red yesterday, unfortunately down 0.8 units. Live the Dong life, die the Dong life. Recently, we've been dying by the Dong life, but confident that we're going to pick things up. As for the season, we are up a little bit over 14 units on the year. These past 6 days have been terrible. We were up over 20 units prior to that. This is like the worst 6-day stretch that we've had since April. So with the weather heating back up, with some pretty juicy Dong slate that we have today, hopefully we can turn things around starting today. The way I have the math work out, we just need 2 guys in the round robin to hit a home run and we will be green. Or we get one of our straight bets to hit a home run, we will be green. Let's hope we get a lot more than that. But if you're new to my channel, I would appreciate if you could subscribe for this specific video. If you could comment, let me know who you would like to hit a home run. We'll see if we have any guys the same as you in the comments was the words I'm looking for there. And then the last thing I'll mention is that I do have a dub club where I send all my plays out for $5 a month. Get sent directly to your phone, text, email, telegram. If you're unfamiliar, dub club is just a service that you can sign up for to get people like me to send plays to people like you if you are interested. And it doesn't just get you baseball, football, basketball when that season starts. Everything that I play on Dub Club. But if you're not interested in that, no problem. You can still get everything for free on YouTube. And let's start talking about Dongs. So play number 1. I'm going to have 2 plays in the Orioles versus Dodgers game, actually. So plays number 1 and 2, I'm going with Shohei Ohtani to hit a home run, and I'm going with Gunnar Henderson to hit a home run. So to start with Ohtani first, we're getting him at plus 320 odds. I don't know what the books have been doing with the odds for Ohtani recently, but they've been crazy. I know I'd said the same thing yesterday and he didn't hit a home run, but if you can get Ohtani at plus 450, which is what we got him at yesterday, or you can get him at plus 320 against a right-handed pitcher, which is what we have today, I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that. Now, the pitching matchup for today is Corbin Burnes, who's obviously a very good pitcher. Yes, Corbin Burnes is awesome. I would still put the advantage in favor of Shohei Ohtani. For starters, he's been on fire. That's always good. He's been incredible recently. And as good as Corbin Burnes is, and as good as he's been this year, he struggled a little bit against lefties recently, and he's also struggled in the home run department a little bit recently as well. In his last 10 starts, he has a home run per 9 of 1.21, which is not a terrible number. You know, that's not Rodri Munoz level bad, but it's also not good. It's not someone that you would be scared of. He's allowed 8 home runs in these last 10 starts. 5 of those 8 home runs have come to left-handed hitters, giving him a home run per 9 of 1.60 against lefties over his last 10 starts. That is a much more palatable number when targeting a home run hitter. Ohtani has annihilated right-handed pitching on the entire season. He's annihilated right-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks with 12 hard hit line drive plus fly balls in the last 14 days. He's also got 3 piss missiles, which piss missile means 100 miles per hour or more off the bat with a launch angle of 20 and 40 degrees. If you're consistently hitting piss missiles, you're going to consistently be hitting home runs. That's what Ohtani has done over the past 2 weeks. In terms of the pitch mix, Corbin Burnes throws a cutter just under 50% of the time against left-handed hitters. I mean, Ohtani has good stats against basically every pitch, so you could say this about everything. It still applies to cutters. Against cutters from right-handed pitching, Ohtani has a 10% barrel rate, a 58.5% hard hit rate. And even though he hasn't hit a home run off of a cutter in the last 2 weeks, he has even better stats with a 14% barrel rate and a 57% hard hit rate, again, against cutters from righties over the last 2 weeks. Next up, he's going to see a curveball 26% of the time, a changeup 24.5% of the time. He smoked both of those as well because he's freaking Shohei Ohtani. So I'm comfortable going with him to hit a home run. And then in the same game, so reminder, place this as a separate bet, is Gunnar Henderson. Now, Gunnar, it's a little bit scary taking Gunnar Henderson. He's been better recently, but he still just needs to get that launch angle up a little bit. But I'm actually going to have two guys on the Orioles today. Only Gunnar is going to be in the round robin. The other guy on the Orioles, I'm taking separately, not putting him in the round robin. But I like both, and I like Gunnar because the matchup here is Walker Buehler of the Dodgers. Buehler has gotten absolutely rocked when he has pitched this year. He's had 10 starts. He's been terrible in all 10 of overall in those 10 starts. And we're getting a really, really good price on Gunnar. He's at plus 550, which is way too high going up against the pitcher Walker Buehler, who has struggled. Buehler's made 10 starts this season, home run per 9 of 2.23 in those 10 starts. And if you want to say, well, he was hurt at the beginning of the year, look at how he has been recently. He's come back and made 2 starts since he returned from injury. Still hasn't been that great in those 2 starts. So not a pitching matchup that I'm scared of at all. And Gunnar has crushed all 3 of the pitches that he will see: knuckle curve, four-seam fastball, and cutters. The pitcher Walker Buehler throws a knuckle curve most frequently to left-handed hitters. Next up are the four-seamers and the cutters. Gunnar's crushed all 3 of these pitches. The issue, as I mentioned, is the launch angle is just a little bit too low. But if you look at the last 2 weeks, he's got 5 separate hits that are 100 or more miles per hour off the bat against this pitch mix. And Buehler is not a great pitcher, so I feel very good about Gunnar Henderson. Again, the plus 550 odds are so juicy. That's play number 2. Next up, play number 3, I'm taking Marcell Ozuna to hit a home run. So this is a righty versus righty matchup going up against David Festa. Now, Ozuna hasn't hit a home run off of a right-handed pitcher over the last 7 days. He's still been crushing the baseball, not scared off of that at all. And David Festa has gotten rocked in his 36 innings pitched this year, which, sure, that is a little bit of a smaller sample size, but in the innings that he's pitched, he's gotten rocked. And despite this being a righty versus righty matchup, not scared off because Festa has been equally bad against righties and lefties. So it's not like you only want to target the opposite handedness or anything like that. His home run per 9 in these 8 starts, which encapsulates the 36 innings, 1.73, bad. 9.9% barrel rate, bad. 17.4 degree launch angle, bad. He's been better in his last 4 starts in the month of August. Not really scared off of the matchups of the teams he's played in those 4 starts, so I'm not necessarily super confident that he's figured it out recently or anything like that. And the good news is his pitch mix lines up perfectly with what Ozuna crushes. He mostly throws four-seam fastballs, which a young pitcher, that's not a huge shocker. And Ozuna's crushed four-seam fastballs both on the entire season and recently. On the year, 13.68% barrel rate and a 59% hard hit rate with a 31.6% ISO rate against four-seamers from right-handed pitching. And he's going to see that 41.7% of the time. Next up is a slider 38% of the time and a changeup 20% of the time. That makes up 100% of the pitch mix. In the last 2 weeks against sliders and changeups, Ozuna has an 18.75% barrel rate and a 50% hard hit rate. You look at his game log, a lot of green, meaning he's been hitting the ball really, really hard, just been crushing it. He had like a 400-foot out or double yesterday. Pretty confident he's going to come through. Next up, I'm taking Francisco Lindor to hit a home run as play number 4. So it's a little bit frustrating. I went with Lindor yesterday because he initially was supposed to be going up against Eduardo Rodriguez. Eduardo Rodriguez got pushed to today, so I'm going to go ahead and run it back with Francisco Lindor. Talking about dong predictors, that will be Francisco Lindor. He's like leading the category in dong predictors over the last 14 days. He's been incredible. And the last time we had a good day, we had Francisco Lindor in a day game, and he hit a home run. He was the first one we had, and he hit a home run. Doesn't need that much of a selling point. He's got 8 hard hit line drive plus fly balls over the past week, 8 dong predictors, 3 home runs overall. Been really, really good. And Eduardo Rodriguez has really, really struggled since coming back from injury. Maybe he's getting it together. Maybe it's just taking a couple starts, but he's allowed a 314 average and a 255 ISO rate against righties in his limited starts this year, which are really, really bad. Lindor is much better against left-handed pitchers than he is against right-handed pitchers. And Lindor is a switch hitter, so he bats both sides of the plate. But he's much better when facing a lefty, like a 27% ISO rate versus a 19% ISO rate from a lefty to a righty. And he also, I'm sure you could have guessed, crushed the pitch mix of Eduardo Rodriguez. Consists of a four-seam fastball 42.5% of the time, a changeup 31% of the time, and a cutter 20.5% of the time. You want to know what happened the last four-seam fastball he saw from a lefty? Home run. The last changeup he saw from a lefty? Home run. Done really well against cutters as well. I think Lindor is going to hit a home run tonight. That's play number 4. Next up, play number 5 in the last leg of our Dong Robin is Alex Bregman, another batter that we went with yesterday that did not come through for us. So hopefully him and Lindor are good one day late a-holes and that they also hit home runs tonight and not on days we don't have them. Great matchup for Alex Bregman. Yesterday he went up against Aaron Nola, who's a little bit hit or miss. Yesterday Nola was a hit. He pitched a gem. He was awesome. Really good. Luckily, it's about the exact opposite pitching matchup today, going up against Taijuan Walker of the Phillies. Walker has been dreadful, like one of the worst pitchers in baseball when he has pitched this year. Started the year hurt, came back from an injury, got rocked. Had a blister on his finger. When he came back from that, has gotten rocked. You look at all the pitchers that have thrown at least 60 innings on the year. He's got the worst barrel rate at 14.2%, which is ungodly bad. The worst hard hit rate at 50%, which is really bad. The worst average exit velocity allowed at 92.1 miles per hour, which is really bad. All that with a launch angle that would be bottom 20 of all qualified pitchers. He's been terrible. I can't believe the Phillies are still throwing him out there. Trust me, I'm a Phillies fan. I know exactly how bad this guy has been. I took Bobby Witt to hit a home run off him in Taijuan Walker's last start. Witt didn't hit a home run. 2 other batters did. So hopefully the same thing doesn't happen today. This is absolutely what I'm going to call an all-you-can-dong buffet for Astros batters. I really like Alec Bregman. Jordan is a good bet too. His odds are just so nuked, like 220 odds, and he hasn't really hit home runs recently. Yanier Diaz is good. Jeremy Pena is good. Again, I landed on Bregman. He's just been on fire. He's second in the MLB in the last 7 days with 10 dong predictors. Only Aaron Judge is ahead of him with 11, and he's tied with 3 other batters with that 10 number. And what I like about Bregman over some other guys is he's been consistently, he's been hitting the ball really hard, as evidenced by his 10 dong predictors, but he's also been putting the ball in the air at a high rate, 52% fly ball rate. So that's the difference between him and Jordan. Jordan has a fly ball rate below 40%. Bregman is above 50%. He's hitting the ball hard and he's consistently putting the ball in the air. And going from Nola to Taijuan Walker is like basically facing a T-ball pitcher. That's what it's going to be like going up against Taijuan Walker tonight. So I love Alex Bregman to hit a home run. If you wanted to put like 4 guys on the Astros in separate bets to hit home runs, you'll probably end up in the green. So I wouldn't talk you out of that. But that's play number 5 in the last leg of our Dong Robin. The next 2 batters that I have, I'm going to play a quarter unit on them straight up. Number 1 is Colton Cowser, which you can get him at plus 680 odds at FanDuel. So Cowser has the same pitching matchup that Gunnar Henderson has in Walker Buehler. So that's the same. Literally copy and paste the notes from the pitcher for Gunnar to Colton Cowser. So the thing with Colton Cowser, he's not quite hitting the ball as hard in the past week that he was 2 weeks ago. So if you look at his last 2 weeks hard hit rate, pretty good. Look at the last 7 days, not quite as good. But the good news with Colton Cowser and the difference between him and Gunnar is when he does hit the ball hard, he really puts the ball in the air. That's the biggest difference between him and Gunnar. Gunnar's hard hits are ground balls. Colton Cowser's hard hits are fly balls or line drives. Now, Cowser doesn't hit the knuckle curve as well as Gunnar does, which again is the most frequent pitch that Walker Buehler throws. But he does hit four-seam fastballs and cutters better than Gunnar, which are the next 2 most frequent pitches from Walker Buehler. So we're going to have to see how Buehler pitches to him. Plus 680 is really good odds for him, especially in a hitter's park like Dodger Stadium. So quarter unit on him if he hits a home run, guaranteed to be green for the day no matter what else happens. Next up, I am taking Helio Ramos as my second straight bet for the day. Another quarter unit play on him. You can get him at plus 750 odds at DraftKings. I have no idea what the books are doing pricing him at plus 750. FanDuel, who knows what they're doing in this scenario, has him at plus 470. I think the book, I don't know, maybe they're not awake yet. Maybe they're West Coast companies. They're still asleep. Plus 750 for him is incredible when you look at the pitching matchup he has against Freddie Peralta, absolutely a dong ball pitcher who, despite being a right-handed pitcher, is much worse against righties. And looking at Julio Ramos, sure, he's not mashing the ball. He's not mashing dingers, I should say. He has been mashing, not dingers, the same rate he was a couple months ago. He's got 4 barrels in the last 7 days. There are only 4 batters who have more than 4 barrels in the last week. It's pretty good company when you look at those 4. It's Giancarlo Stanton, Salvador Perez, Aaron Judge, and Bobby Witt Jr. Then Ramos is tied with 4 other batters that each have 4. I know I'm saying the word 4 a lot, but that's kind of how the math works out. He's got 4 barrels in the last 7 days. 4 batters have more than him, and he's also tied with 4 batters with 4 each. Number 4 is our lucky number today. You look at his game log, similar to Marcell Ozuna, he's going to see a 4-seam fastball over 50% of the time. Ton of green, meaning he's been hitting the ball incredibly hard. And he's been barreling it up for us, which barrel rate means you're hitting the ball hard with a very specific launch angle of like 26 and 30 degrees. That's why I like looking at barrels, but I also like looking at the Dong predictor stat because the Dong predictor is a little bit more encapsulating, but still an important number, whereas Piss Missile measures 100 plus miles per hour off the bat. So all 3 of those stats are important. All 3 of them show Ramos has been annihilating the baseball, and you're getting him at plus 750. It's crazy that we're getting him at plus 750, especially at a hitter's park like Milwaukee. So I love this play. That rounds out our 7th and final Dong pick of the day. As I mentioned, the way the math works out, if any 2 of our Dong Robin guys hit a home run, we will be green, including everything. If any 1 of our 2 straight bets hit a home run, we will be green for the day. So we need 2 of Shohei Ohtani, Gunnar Henderson, Marcell Ozuna, Francisco Lindor, and Alex Bregman to come through, or 1 of Colton Cowser or Julio Ramos to come through, and we're guaranteed to have a green day. If any more than that hit home runs, we will be very green. Let's hope for that after how rough this past 6 days has been. But that's all we got. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, check out the Dub Club if you are interested, and have a good one.